Here's a fragrance that flew under my radar, certainly. This one came out a couple years ago in 2021, and it's by the brand Pernoire. This one is called Vitias. This is a phenomenal aquatic fragrance. It's spicy, it's citrusy, there's ambergris, there's musk, it's oceanic. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this fresh and very versatile fragrance, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on Vitias by Pernoire, this is a really good aquatic fragrance, and it has a very authentic aquatic personality to it. Before I start the video, I want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance related content, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and please give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would be greatly appreciated. So the perfumer for this is Andreas Wilhelm, and this is a fragrance that I said came out a couple years ago in 2021. Now, this fragrance is very aquatic, very oceanic. It has some sea notes in the note breakdown. Of course, it also has ambergris and musk. It has this spicy duality because there's black pepper and there's also pink pepper. There's angelica, so it's a little floral, a little aromatic as well. There's a touch of lime, and of course, it does have some woods in the dried down, and it does have a bit of a darker personality, especially once you give it a chance to settle down. As soon as I smelled it, I thought to myself, this has huge mass appeal. Very smooth, very versatile. However, I can see people opting to wear this one in the hotter weather for the simple fact that it's an aquatic, but nevertheless, I'm excited to try to break down the smell for you as much as possible and possibly even make some comparisons to other popular niche or designer fragrances in just a little while. But let's start things off with a quick look at the presentation. So as I noted earlier, this fragrance has this really bright citrusy aquatic tendency right off the jump. So as soon as you spray it on skin or a test strip or whatever, you're gonna get this salty, but not overly salty. It doesn't smell like seaweed. It's not overly marine, but it is this fresh sort of ozonic. See, here's the thing. When I think of ozonic, I think of something bright, fresh, ethereal. And then when you think of aquatic or oceanic, sometimes I think of like algae or seaweed. And I know that sounds gross. This fragrance is like 70% ozonic, 30% oceanic, if that makes sense, right? So the salt has been dialed back. It's not going to be anything like a Selmaron by Healy. That's a very salty fragrance. And of course, there's a Parfumum Roma fragrance that has a heavy dose of salt. It doesn't smell like that. This fragrance kind of reminds me of Allure Homme Sport by Chanel. It also reminds me a lot of Light Blue for Men by Dolce & Gabbana. So this kind of has that fresh characteristic about it. It's very easygoing. It's very mass appealing. And it took me a while to try to figure out like what's actually happening in here. What is this reminding me of? So this is like a less musky version of Uncut Gem by Frederic Malle. So when you think of the ambergris, which would translate to ambroxan in Uncut Gem, you think of the lime, the citrus, you think of the angelica that is found in Uncut Gem as well. So I'm smelling it and I'm like, wait a second, this smells like something that I would wear quite often minus the musk. So it's Uncut Gem minus the musk, but this one came out before Uncut Gem. So of course it's not a variation or an inspiration of anything. This is a very unique fragrance, but of course people are making comparisons to, I think, a Carner Barcelona called Costarella. And then there's a few other fragrances that people have made connections to, but all things considered, this stands on its own two legs. It doesn't smell explicitly like anything else. These are very loose frames of reference, just to give you an idea, a ballpark estimate of what you can expect as far as the smell is concerned, especially if you don't have the opportunity to sample this one. But yes, it is in the wheelhouse of like a more natural smelling and a more organic light blue for Men by Dolce & Gabbana, right? So if you can imagine like a more natural, more organic niche version of that, that's what you're going to get here with Pernoire Vitias. This is an awesome aquatic, incredibly versatile, compliment getting appeal, fresh without being salty, but I think a lot of people are going to want to wear this one in the hotter weather just because it's evocative of the hotter weather. let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I did make comparisons to a few other fragrances, including Uncut Gem and Light Blue, and also Allure Homme Sport by Chanel. But at the end of the day, this fragrance does its own thing, and it has an organic personality about it that I really enjoy, and it has the mass appeal. So as far as the overall smell is concerned, we have 2 thumbs up, right? Longevity on this one is about 7 hours on my skin. Projection was wonderful for the first 45 minutes of application. It radiated beyond an arm's length. It became an elbow's length scent right around hour 5, a skin scent right around hour 7. In terms of the versatility, I think it is a little masculine leaning according to traditional standards. I think this one is great for the hotter weather, dressed up or dressed down, I would say, although I can see a lot of people wishing to wear this one casually, and I think this one would appeal to anybody of any age, but there is certainly a youthful personality about it. Presentation concerned, this one actually looks quite nice. Here you have the conch shell, and then on the back you have the name, so perhaps I should have had it like that, but I do like the way that it looks from both ends. Presentation is very nice. My final verdict on this fragrance is, if you like fresh aquatic fragrances, you want something with a little bit of personality, you are not willing to compromise on mass appeal, check out Vitias by Pernoire. This is an awesome fragrance. Thank you so much for joining me today. All of the links are going to be down below if you're interested in checking this product out, or at the very least, just learning a little bit more about the brand. Thank you for joining me. If you took something of value from today's video, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching. Love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.